that there's a former manager for the Cardinals named Mike Matheny, and he said there was one common thing across all of the professional athletes that he either played with or that he coached. There was one thing. Guess what that thing was? It was that when they were young, they had someone who knew the game spend time with them working on their skill outside of normal practice. Okay, let me say that again to make sure that you really understand this. Mike Matheny, a World Series player and manager, said there was one common thing of everyone that he played with and everyone that he coached. He said that the one common thing that they all had was that someone who understood the game, spent time with the athlete when they were young, working on their skill development outside of normal practice hours. And here's the crazy thing, is that what that used to mean is it used to mean that you needed to have an uncle who played professional sports, or you had to have a neighbor who played professional sports, or you got really lucky and you had a coach who played professional sports who loves the game and is in your physical neighborhood. And then on top of that, you had to have access to practice with them consistently so that they could give you the feedback loops that you needed in order to get your skill high enough so that you could play. And you had to be next to each other. You had to be, frankly, incredibly lucky. But now, because of the internet, you can get access every single day from one of the best coaches in the world through online training. And then when they set their program up in a way that's a linear skill development, that's actually the best way to learn that skill, and then they give you customized video feedback to keep you on path and to help you understand good versus bad, and you're consistently practicing and you're getting all these feedback loops, you now have access to the top tier coaching in the world that previously only the sons of major leaguers or the sons of professional players would get. Because you used to be limited by physical access, but now because of the internet, you can access anyone in the whole world. For example, myself with Catching Made Simple, I've worked with quite a few Australian clients, and I even got my first guy from Japan. And check this out, the kid didn't even speak English, but his dad spoke English so he could translate. And at the end of the day, when I'm drawing lines on his video feedback and I'm reviewing his stance, which his primary should look like an M, his torso should be like this, and then he should have a triangle target, he understands lines, he understands shapes. He doesn't need to understand English to pick up what I'm putting down here, because when his arm is like this, and I say it needs to look like this, and show him on video, this is what the difference is, then he goes, oh, okay. He doesn't need to know English. This is the crazy thing, you guys. If you're actually a really, really good coach, if you lay out your program correctly and you have the right systems set up, you could literally coach the entire world. One of the guys that I really love, his name's Naval Ravikant. He said that if there's all these teachers in the world, this isn't a chocolate chip cookie, this is supposed to be the world and different coaches, what will happen is there will be one person who teaches the world. It kind of looks like an eyeball, but again, it's supposed to be a world. All these different teachers, right? There's gonna be one person who's the best. One person who explains things better than everyone else. And because of content and the internet, that person can now distribute that information to the whole entire world. And so if you think that you're a coach and you think that you might have what it takes to be the best, and you don't have to be the best in the world, right? But you could be the best at one specific skill in one specific sport for one specific position. And you might be the best at that who's able to make content and can build an online training program and can be a positive influence on kids' lives where parents want that influence in their kids' life. If you can do that, man, you can do really, really cool, crazy things. And that is what I have experienced in my life, and I want you to experience in yours. And ultimately, one of the big things that I want to see happen is I want to significantly change the game of all of youth sports development. I want to equip the most amount of coaches to make money doing the things that they love, and then I want to help parents spend time with their kids, because if you talk to any parent, the thing that they say is, oh, it goes by so fast. And right now you have a kid who loves sports. Use the thing that they love to spend intentional quality time with them, because as soon as they turn 13, they're not going to think you're cool. As soon as they turn 16, they're going to be out of the house. And as soon as they go off to college, you might not see them for a while, right? So while you have them and they want to spend time with you and they want to get better at their sport, use it and set up good communication patterns so that you can actually build relationships with your kid, because I'm sure there's going to be many more difficult things that you're going to have to talk through and have communication about. And if you can use a sport to develop great communication on how to improve and what you're working on, it's going to set up the whole rest of your life. But then finally for players too, because the players want to get better. They just haven't had access to the right information. Now with social media and quality coaches coming online, there's a lot more information that's being presented. And so, like for example, for myself, I know I've helped so many catchers. I get messages from catchers that I've never worked with that say, hey, I became the best catcher in my league. Hey, I won the starting varsity spot because I watch all your videos, right? I've never worked with them. I might never work with them. But because they've gotten access to the information that I learned through all the struggles that I had as I was learning to catch, I've been able to help them. Now at the same time, players who work with a coach like myself or another quality coach that get the hands-on feedback, they just explode in their growth, because that's just what happens. When you get the right plan and you get the right feedback and you get the coach helping you work on the right things, there's just no way for you to not grow as long as you're doing the work. So ultimately, I want to see all of youth sports shift from being showcase focused to being skill development focused, where parents can get on the same side as players and where coaches can make a living doing what they love and being a positive influence, being a trusted third party on these kids and families.